franchise, and welcome back to hashtag a shy moment. I have missed y'all oodles and noodles, and I am so excited to be doing a additional day of YouTubing with y'all. I kind of want to venture into booktube, so hopefully this reaches people who love reading as much as I do. So today's video, I will be telling y'all what I read in the month of January and just giving you like a brief little summary, so that way if it's something that you're interested in, you can add it to your to be read pile. I set my goal for 4 books just to give myself a little leniency and to kind of re-submerge myself into the reading world. I am super hyped because I actually read a total of 9 books. It would have been 10, but I did not finish reading the 10th book in time in January. But you know, there's worse things to be upset about. If you're interested to know what I thought about all of these books, I do give a very mini review on my Instagram. It's Poetry by Cheyenne. If you don't follow me, please follow. I follow back. I also have my blog up on my website where I do an in-depth review of all of the books that I have been reading. So if you're a blogger and you like to read long things, definitely follow me there. If you want a shorter summary of things, my Instagram has it, and then of course our videos together. So the first book I read was Other Voices, Other Rooms by Truman Capote. Truman Capote is one of my favorite authors. In Cold Blood is actually my favorite book by him, but this is his first ever publication. I did not love this book. It was good, but it was like definitely not my favorite book. It follows a child who is on the search to meet his biological father. By the time he gets to meet his father, he realizes that his father is not at all what he had imagined him to be. He's actually very ill, and he's, as the boy describes him, kind of bizarre. The main character, Joel Knox, is very peculiar. This is definitely what I would consider, I don't even know if it's like necessarily a coming of age book, but it definitely touches on what it means to become a young man from the age of 13 and traveling and adventuring through life. I keep looking at the back just for like a little reminder because I read this book a minute ago. For someone's first publication, I feel like it's incredible, and like I mentioned, his other works I'm definitely more of a fan of. For what it was, pretty good. On my Instagram, I think I rated it maybe like a 3 out of 5. The second book I read was another first publication of the author, This Side of Paradise by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I did not love this book either. Mostly because I just felt like it was kind of long-winded. It follows, his name is Mhairi, I believe that's how you pronounce it, Mhairi Blaine, and it is said to be that the main character is a representation of Fitzgerald himself and what he was like in college. So it follows Mhairi and his life going to college, and then his young adult life post-college from Princeton. He goes to the war. It's really, again, like another coming of age kind of book. What I loved about this book, even though I didn't love the book in totality, but I loved that Fitzgerald explored different writing styles. It's split up into very long chapters, but within each chapter there are sub-chapters. Sometimes it's written almost like a theater play, and then other times it's written like a regular kind of novel or manuscript. And yeah, I rated this, I think, also a 3 out of 5 on my Instagram, simply because I wasn't engaged in it enough, but I finished it because I do my best, even if I don't love it, to just like kind of push through. I think that's all I have to say. Book 3, I absolutely loved. Eliza Starts a Rumor by Jane L. Rosen. It is incredible. It's told from 4 different points of view, and a rumor is what bonds all 4 of the main characters together, so they end up meeting each other. I finished this one in like 1 sitting. It was that good. It's actually being adapted into I think it's a TV series, either TV series or a movie, so I highly recommend this. It takes place in the early or like mid 2000s. One of the main characters, Eliza, suffers from a mental disorder. It's called agoraphoria, and because she has it, she does not go out. So she's like kind of stuck inside of her house. And because she's stuck inside of her house, she runs a Facebook group called The Bulletin. And inside The Bulletin, they update, they ask questions, they update about what's going on, you know, in their community, etc., etc. And she ends up starting this rumor about one of her neighbors who she believes is having an affair. Now, from a different point of view, one of the members who's inside of the group, her name is Olivia. She's a new mom. She believes that the rumor is about her. So Olivia meets another friend. This is a third point of view, Allison, who, I'm sorry, I'm reading the back for the names because I read this, you know, a while ago. Allison meets Olivia. Allison is a lawyer. She meets Olivia, and she ends up helping Olivia uncover whether or not it is her husband, her being Olivia's husband, who's cheating or not. Then there's Amanda, who Amanda is Eliza's best friend since childhood, who has her own scandal going on with her husband, who comes home to get away from hype and the controversy of what's going on in her own life. So between Amanda's own personal drama, Eliza starting the actual rumor that happens to be about Olivia meeting Allison, who's helping her uncover it all. It's so good. And not to mention that there is another character in here whose name is Jackie, and I'm just going to leave it at that. Jackie, wild card. So good. Absolutely recommend this book. Book 4 that I read is called I Shaved My Legs for This. To be quite honest with you, I picked the book because I liked the title of it. But this book is a collection of 4 short stories by 4 different authors. Their theme that they have in common is blind dating. I did not love this one. I did finish it. I didn't love it only because of the fact that it was so repetitive that I wish it was almost a collection of just like varying types of stories. All 4 of them had to do with the blind date. By the time you got to book 3, you already knew what was going to happen, in the sense of, because you know that it's a blind date, you already know that the main character is going to turn down a lot of blind dates and then end up finding the love of her life at the last date. And for me, it was just too repetitive. So I kind of wish that it almost just included a variety of different types of love stories and not all 4 being about blind dates. Book 5 is one that I was dying to read. It's been in my to be read pile for like ever. I'm actually late to the game because I know a lot of people have already read this one, but One Day in December. I did read a Christmas book in January. Sue me, whatever. This one was one of my faves. I absolutely loved it. I am a sucker for romance novels, so if you love romance, this is it. This is, I would consider, a tragedy only because the main character, Laurie, finds the love of her life at a bus stop while she's on the bus, and the love of her life is not on the bus, but they see each other through the window, and then she loses him, and then he comes back a year later, but as her best friend's boyfriend. Are you kidding me? Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. They spend the whole book, trying to like maneuver how that's gonna work, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. This is also told by 2 points of view, so by Laurie, the female character, and then Jack, who is the mystery boy that she falls in love with through the window. Absolutely loved this book. I realized that I talk really fast, and I don't mean to, but because I talk so fast, I get so thirsty. I also realized that I talk fast because I get excited, so if you can relate to that, thank you. Book 6, Nicholas Sparks, The Wedding. This is the first ever book by Nicholas Sparks that I actually read. I've seen almost all of his movies, but this is the first time I actually picked up the book to read it. I actually got this book, I don't know why I keep saying actually, but I picked the book because it's called The Wedding, and I'm in the process of planning my own wedding. My fridge is going off, that's awesome. Because I'm in the process of planning my own wedding. And then when I read the back of it, it is actually about the daughter and son-in-law of Allie and Noah from The Notebook, and everyone knows The Notebook. So this was one of my favorites that I read. If you love a cute love story and one that has a happy ending throughout, this is definitely gonna be it. Book 7, The Dinner. Psychological thriller, absolutely incredible. I loved this book. To be able to write an entire book in one setting is phenomenal to me. And yes, it goes back and forth between memories and present day, but this whole thing takes place at the dinner. And it's split up into chapters, but also into categories. And the categories are based off of like your dining experience. So you have like the appetizers, the main course, dessert, etc. It's incredible. It is adapted into a movie. I have not seen the movie. I can't say enough good things about this book. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. And the fact that it touches on mental health as well inside, and it's told from a first person point of view, makes it even that more interesting because your narrator is unreliable. So you have no idea if what he's saying is correct or if it's a lie. It's genius writing, truly. Book 8, another love book. First Comes Love. This book was incredible as well. I loved it. I cried, mostly because it's about siblings, specifically a sister relationship. So it's told from 2 points of view, older sister Josie and her little sister Meredith, and they have experienced a very traumatic event in their life when they were young adults, teenager, early 20s. They weave the past into present day. Present day, they're both in their 30s, both living very different lives. And it's this one event that holds them together because they don't really get along all that well. I loved it. I have a sister, so for me, it just honestly reminded me a lot of our relationship with each other. And I think that I needed to read it in order to feel like I'm not alone in the relationship I have with my sister, because we do butt heads a lot, but to also also realize that at the end of the day, your sister should be like one of your best friends. I finished this in one sitting too. It was so good. Sister relationships, family tragedy. A great book to understand that your life and the path that you choose for your life is unique to you. And it's okay that it's unique to you. It should be unique to you, but just because it's not the same as someone else that you love and you're close with doesn't mean that it's wrong. And ladies and gents, the last book that I read for January is Don't You Forget About Me. It was a romance novel and it was absolutely brilliant. I loved this book too. But again, I love, so I'm a little bit biased towards romance novels. I wouldn't say it was necessarily slow, but there were some parts where you're just like, okay, like hurry up, get to the good part about it. But it is about a lovely woman. Her name is Georgina, and Georgina falls in love, her first love ever, with Lucas in high school, and then he disappears. A tragic event happens and they stop talking, they stop dating each other. It's heartbreaking. Fast forward years later, she's in her 30s, and who does she run into? Her first love ever, Lucas. Except Lucas is her boss, and Lucas says that he doesn't remember her. Are you kidding me? Absolutely bonkers. Love this book, absolutely recommend it. So my lovely sunshines, that is a list of the books that I read for the month of January. They are all down below in the description section. I am so thrilled to be using this channel for you guys to know another side of me, because I know that people are so like unique in that they have so many different like parts of them that make them one whole person, which is like so beautiful. I'm talking to fans again, but saying all that to say is that I'm really excited to share this aspect of my life with you outside of Instagram and sharing it here on BookTube. So I will see you all I'll either see you all tomorrow in my next video, or I'll see you all next Tuesday with another Talk to Me Tuesday BookTube video. I love you all, sunshines, oodles, and noodles. Have a great day.